Attention! Go!
Nothing fussy on the start from any crews. I mean, blades were well buried, nice, decent long strokes on the first few of the takeoff there.
Yeah, business as usual. And I think actually, you know, for your first round, getting those nerves out of the way, getting a good, clean start from both crews, I think is very important. Just to settle you, just to allow you to settle into that rhythm. And I loved a bit of the patience in the first, you know, 2, 3, 4 strokes of Hereford before they really started to wind up their V8. And then they got up and running. But, you know, we're riding with Kingston at the moment. And, you know, we've been watching them for a wee while now, and none of them have looked out yet. They're all absolutely dialed into that rhythm, and we're all absolutely listening to what Katerina Golub's got to say there, Cox. And she'll be the one who's feeding all that information to them. And it's, gosh, it's a cracking start from both crews.
I think it's going to be a cracking race, actually. And Hereford Rowing Club row on the River Wye. They came through qualifiers. Sadly, Hereford Rowing Club lost one of its really important members, Father Mark Jarbolet, who was a leading light of rowing in Hereford, and of course Henley Stewart as well passed away, and his requiem mass was not so long ago. But Hereford just edging out on Kingston. The Kingston boys call themselves the Breakfast Club. Can you explain what the Breakfast Club means?
I imagine there'll be a lot of these guys will be working full-time jobs. They'll be working their 9 till 5, so they've got to get up and get working as the rest of the world is having their breakfast. So they'll be on the river, on the Thames, you know, 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning. Yeah.
5:30, I reckon.
Probably second Breakfast Club, I imagine, once they're finished.
Yeah, they're getting out in the morning. So Hereford Rowing Club are on the right of your picture. They just have a narrow lead. You can see the signal go up on the left of your picture. It says the barrier. Number 1 is Hereford Rowing Club, and we're just waiting for number 2 to go up. So I think that's around about a length's lead that the men from Hereford have over Kingston.
Yeah, brilliant from Hereford. That sort of margin at this stage, particularly in an 8s race, it's a long way now for Kingston to come back on. And we're at the point in the race where none of them will be able to see, you know, maybe just the bowman or the 2-man, Benjamin Swan, Josh Bridge there in the bow and 2 seat, will be able to feel Hereford. But I think for the rest of the crew, so early on, still in the opening, you know, third of the race or so, it's a long way now for Kingston to come back. But there's still plenty of time, and they'll be hoping as they come past Remnham to get a big roar from the spectators who are still there.
Yeah, and I think if I'm right saying Hereford came through the qualifiers, this is going to be a fantastic Friday and an amazing Tuesday for the boys from the River Wye. Can't want for more than that.
No, and I think, you know, I was at qualifiers last Friday, and the event that it has turned into is gigantic. It was 492 crews for about 160 places at this year's regatta. So for Hereford to get one of those coveted spots is phenomenal. And, you know, we talk a lot about where the big clubs are who will challenge for this competition. They're all London-based. But I think for Hereford to get into this draw, to get their name recognised, to be leading by Clearwater against one of the Remnham clubs, it's tremendous from Hereford. And certainly a sign that they're a crew who can challenge some of the top clubs in the country.
Yeah, well, they rely on these sort of volunteers, and none more so than their coach, Nigel Fraser, who's not only the sort of high-performance coach, but he's also a GP. Don't know where he finds the time to do that. He's also the chair of the club as well. So he's like one of those sort of rowing geeks that obviously loves his sport, presumably loves his work, and he's loving this race as well at the moment.
He is. He'll be watching on with absolute pleasure and delight. Exactly the sort of person you want around your boathouse to help you out. Well, there's Remnham Club just coming into shot. Kingston Rowing Club, they're down. They've got Clearwater to make up, but you can hear that, Crossy, can't you? You can hear the roar that's starting to come from those Remnham clubs, urging their boys to get back into contention in this race.
Yeah, well, their coach, Andy Metcalf, former University of London rower, would have told Kingston to just feed off that roar. It's fascinating, you know, to look at the multinational nature of these crews. Toby Smith, the 18-year-old, is from North Shore. He rows in North Shore, which is, I think it's an Auckland-based club up in New Zealand. And he's over here rowing for Kingston. Matt Randall learnt to row at Hampton School, just up the Thames from Kingston, the 7-man in that boat. And let's see if the Remnant Roar has put any power into those red blades as we get a shot of the crews, maybe from the drone. There we see. I think they might have moved back a little bit from that Remnant Roar, Fergus.
Yeah, ever so slightly. But again, with so many of these crews who can establish that lead in the early stages of this race, Hereford can just not necessarily sit back, but control the race, enjoy the race. And they're still in that position. They've got a length, but they've got additional clear water as well. And, coming into the final stages, Hereford, first time in 24 years they've had a Thames Challenge Cup crew qualify, get through to the side-by-side racing. And here they are winning on the Tuesday in round 1 for the club and for everyone back home watching and for everyone on the banks. What a feeling this will be, and what a feeling for the guys in the boat as well.
It's massive. I have to say, I've been to Hereford once. It was in 1975. The West Country regattas. Hereford, I think we did Monmouth, and then Ross on Wye were down there, and lovely stretch of river. And those boys at the club have done their club proud, and everyone at Hereford is going to be absolutely going crazy. Not only have they qualified, but they've also headed this heat of the Thames Challenge Cup against their opposition from Kingston Rowing Club.
Yeah, what a journey for the Cox Lucy Head as well. Learned to Cox first back at Hereford in 1995. And here she is, back with the club now 2025, 30 years later. Part of this phenomenal crew that's qualified and is winning here at the Thames Challenge Cup. This crew and everyone back home will be so proud of their efforts today.
So Hereford Rowing Club come up to the finish line in this heat of the Thames Challenge Cup. Very competent, well-executed win over difficult opponents from Kingston Rowing Club. Here we are in the heat of the Thames Challenge Cup. Hereford Rowing Club beat Kingston Rowing Club.
Well done, guys, thank you.